We're live. Excellent. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Camp Slash. Oh,
hey.
Welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast here live on Twitch every Monday at 8 p.m. where we talk horror movies from the past. I am your head camp counselor, Duck. I'm here with all the other head camp counselors, excluding one. So we have with us Mr. Javi B. Javi, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm tired, but I'm actually okay. I'm excited. I fucking love the Frighteners. If you don't love the Frighteners, I hate you. But welcome to the cast.
Well, I know somebody who doesn't love it, so you're gonna have to be hating on them. Next, we got.
I think I know who it is.
Next, we got
that fucking
Jay.
fetus.
Next, we got Jay McFox Michael. Jay, how are you, sir?
I am doing just swell.
Excellent.
I am very excited to talk about this lovely movie.
Fuck yeah. Next, we got David Jessup. David, how are you, sir?
Hey, man, I'm doing pretty cool. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Next, we got Shaky Jakey.
Hey,
all
what's
up in
going
here.
on?
How are you, Shaky Jakey?
I'm well. I love this movie. Let's get into it.
And finally, we got the man who probably doesn't care for it as much as us.
Wait, were you just assuming? So I just went after Ethan for nothing?
Well, no, we'll see.
He was just assuming. We'll see,
Ethan,
though.
How are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Camp Slash Comedy Horrorcast, where I'm going to have an aneurysm if we consider this horror and not They Live.
Boo, bitch!
I agree with that.
That's fair.
I mean...
Hey, shout out to the person who just followed us, by the way. Thank you so much for joining the crew here. We really do appreciate it.
Shout out to Hobbit Sarah on Twitch.
Thank you, Hobbit
Sub to us while we were still setting up for the stream, so we didn't forget about you. We didn't forget.
Who's your favorite Hobbit, Sarah?
We appreciate it. Let us know in the comment section. Comments, talk, chat. What is it? I don't know.
Yeah,
chat.
Sarah, who
Chat.
Hobbit is.
I've got an eye on all the chats, so whether you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, whatever, I'll see it here. But if you want to see it here on the stream, hop into Twitch, come chat with us, and I guess either shit or love on this movie with us. So let's get it, boys.
I better be love. All right. What is our histories? Let's go through it. I'm going to start real quick. Mine. Stars used to have a featurette. And Jake, I know you remember this. Jay, you probably remember this too. They used to have this featurette where they would show off movie reels. I think that's what it was called, something like that. And they had a preview of this movie back in like 95, close to when it came out. I guess it came out in 96. But I remember seeing it. And at that time, I would have been about 10 or 11 and terrified. But I remember being intrigued by what I was seeing on the screen and thinking, that's cool. The ghost effects are cool. Everything's cool. I've been drinking Hobbs.
I know. I love it.
And I was super fucking pumped. And then I probably didn't see it for another 5 years until I was like 15 or 16. But the first time I watched this movie, fell in love with it. I think this is a masterpiece. There are issues with it. I am not going to deny that. Pacing issues, especially with the director's cut. Which we watched the director's cut of it. There's a lot of added stuff, especially with the Poltergeist ghost comedy. There's a lot of overacting. That's what happens when you let character actors go wild, but it's fun as shit. And I just love this movie. It's so much fun. So that's my history with it. I've shared this movie with so many people throughout my life. Like I said earlier, I've watched this probably 100 times. It's just so much. it's so much fun. Javi, what's your history with the movie?
Well, I don't remember when I first saw this movie. I just know that I was a young boy, probably around 10 or 11. So somewhere about 97, 98, I saw this movie. And I just remember just like fucking seeing the credits. It had a very Ghostbusters kind of feel to it. And I really dug that because I think Ghostbusters I'm going to be all in on. And I just found it so fucking awesome. It was hilarious. I fucking love Jake Busey just chewing up every scene. It's like, I feel like the director told Jake, listen, I want you to imagine your father in 30 years, and I want you to be that.
Yeah, just go.
I can do that.
He's just going crazy, dude. Chewing up scenery left and right.
Fucking weird ass FBI agent. Just
Agent
Jeffrey.
Yes.
Oh. Yes, he was just fucking. Lead breastplate.
Special Agent Dammers is the best part of that whole movie.
And does he? We'll get to it. I don't even know. You probably do the movie without him, and it still works. But goddamn it, is he fun? So
but it is, and you like I just found myself loving every character, every side character, especially like Frank Barrister's two ghost pals that go with him everywhere. Those guys were awesome.
You call him Frank Barrister?
Bannister. And just like the whole fucking all the cemetery ghosts were the shit, and I like that they each had like their own little thing. It was fucking great. I just love this movie.
It's great.
And it holds up well.
Jay, Mick Fox Michael, what you think? What's your history with this?
Well, when I was growing up, I actually never got to I never got to go to the movies with my family, like ever. Like I can honestly say my entire life as a full family, my family never went to go see a movie. So my movie buddy was actually my granny. So she took me to some of the absolute most trashy horror movies ever. But she was such a gamer. Like she's probably seen more horror movies than most of y'all did in the 90s, maybe with the exception of you, Jessup. But we saw this one in '96 when it came out, and she actually had some very interesting things to say. Most of the time, the horror movies that we'd go see, she was just like, okay. But after this one, she said two things, and one was a little more prophetic. The first thing she said was like, that was actually really good. And the second thing she said was, Michael J. Fox looks a lot older than 35 in this movie. And as it turns out, it was about to become a lot more true than that very soon after this, when he actually came forward with his Parkinson's, declaration. But yeah, he definitely looked quite a bit older than the days of Scott Howard.
I think he knew about it. He knew about it while he was filming this also.
Well, he first got the glimpse was Doc Hollywood, 91. Yeah. He noticed a little twitch in his left pinky finger. Mm-hmm. And from there, it just kind of obviously got worse over the years.
Jeez. Yeah, there's moments in the movie, too, where you can see the Parkinson's. You can really see him, like, twitching and moving and just the little bit. God, he's a powerhouse in this movie. It's such a shame that we lost him. And all I could think was, like...
He's alive?
No.
He's still with
us. Lost him as an actor in, like...
Yeah, you got to clarify that, bud.
This was definitely... This was his swan song, though. This was really his swan song as far as live-action movies go, where he's leading it. Like, this really was pretty much his last movie.
On that, though, he's still acting, so he's doing more, like, television shows now.
Sure, but I'm saying, like, as far as, like, a Michael J. Fox vehicle... This movie was pretty much, this was it.
Well, we knew him from, TV and then Back to the Future. And then he had a bunch of films after that. So we knew him as a movie actor. So whenever he dropped off, went back to Spin City, went back to TV, and then just kind of slowly stopped doing stuff. And he does stuff sporadically now. It just kind of changed the game. But he's still, like, looms large in my mythology. Michael J. Fox is a movie star to me. Alcohol. David, what's your history with the movie?
I saw it in the theater in '96. I didn't like it, and I recently watched it on Saturday, and I didn't like it.
Oh, wasn't expecting that at all.
Boo! You suck for that opinion. That opinion is dumb.
No, this is going to be great. Oh, yes, I love it.
You're wrong and dumb for having that opinion.
I respect your opinion, but what you believe is dumb.
Shaky,
I don't
what
respect
you think?
this opinion.
Well, we'll see what his opinion is.
No, I'm talking about Jessup's. I don't respect.
What is your history with this movie?
Like you, I saw the featurette maybe a few months before it came out in theater. I made my parents take me on opening night to go see it. I was about to turn 14. I've had every iteration of it on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray. and I have the digital copies
What
on
about
both
Laserdisc?
of my systems. No, the only one that I didn't.
You mean you didn't get that on Betamax? Oh, come on, man.
I love this movie. That's all I'm going to say right now. We'll get into it.
Yes, Ethan, history with the movie today, right?
Today.
Today.
Michael J. Fox, obviously, Back to the Future. Watched those all the times as a kid, so I love him as an actor. But, yeah, hadn't seen this before today. But, man, like, dude, this movie's not great, but it's fun.
I can't believe we got 2 out of 6
Fucking
that
bitch.
don't like this movie. Like, I'm shocked because I love it so much. Like, it's so much fun. Everything
is.
in it, the ghost, the third act chase scene, like, it's so tight.
Yeah,
They're going
but-
back and forth.
But it's not horror.
Okay.
Neither is They Live.
Here's the thing.
And this is a horror podcast, so
It's
I
a
guess we're
horror-
fucking...
It's a
This
horror.
is absolutely horror.
God,
It's a
you
horror
and Jessup
comedy.
need your opinions to have a number appear in their forehead.
Oh!
This movie
That's funny.
This movie
That's
is
funny.
absolutely horror. It is almost
Horror.
textbook definition of a horror movie. It's
No.
funny, but it's absolutely a horror movie. I'll fight you in the streets.
Do you think that, just like in They Live, do you think it's because we watched the director's cut and the added comedy, because the original cut doesn't have as much comedy in it? Do you
This
think
could
that
have been the
changed
original,
atmosphere?
and I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. So,
I think that there's a lot of added comedy,
I-
so I think that adds to it, and it changes the vibe a little bit. So, go ahead, Ethan.
for me, with They Live, I at least had that sort of childhood fear going into it, and that added to the tension for me. But with this one, at no point was I creeped out, getting the heebie-jeebies, on the edge of my seat. There was no terror, horror, suspense here whatsoever. It was like I was watching a R-rated Scooby-Doo mystery almost. So,
Wow.
Big
You
bird,
think-
bro.
But that's a valid
You want
point.
to talk about
It's
not
fun.
being scared? You sat through Thanksgiving.
Good movie.
you're telling me
that
that sweet
bothered
pumpkin
you?
pie didn't have you quaking in your boots?
No.
But the turkey, dude, the turkey. All right, here's the thing. I think that we were younger when we saw this. For at least the 4 of us that have fond memories of it, it is cartoonish. This is like a live-action cartoon. I agree with that. And I think that the graphics haven't aged as well as they could have. A lot of it looks like PS1 era CGI. You got to remember, Weta went from 1 computer and Heavenly Creatures to 35 on this to The Lord of the Rings. Go ahead, Jake. What were you?
I was going to say, yeah, a lot of the CGI doesn't hold up. There's one scene that I really did like that I think sticks out as one of the better pieces is whenever he throws the Gary Busey or Jake
Against
Busey
the wall?
face against the fucking cross on the shit, and it's sliding down.
Yeah.
And they got his face on there perfectly.
Yes.
was
Yeah,
cool.
that scene was so fucking good.
And I like how they
it's
talk.
CGI
Like,
wise.
yeah, and I like how they talk like they know each other. Like he's like, you know, what's his name? Johnny
What's his
Bartlett,
name?
and he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, come on, Frank. And I'm just like, oh, this is great.
Right.
The ghost effects though are good, right? When it comes to like,
Oh, they
most of
look
them.
great.
Yeah.
They look great. Jake Busey looked great with his burnt head from the electrocution
Yeah.
from the chair. And
That was a
everything.
nice touch.
The old man who had the 12 carved in his head, he was alive whenever they carved the number into
Lee
his
Ermey?
head. Oh, Arlie Army is fucking
Dude.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, the funny part was they wrote that part to be like him, and then they couldn't get anyone who was close enough. It's the same story with Full Metal Jacket. Or yeah, that's the name of the movie, right?
Full
Yeah.
Metal
Doug,
Yeah.
that's an actor you
Yeah.
could say gone too soon, or we miss him.
Yeah.
Because he's
But-
actually dead.
I mean,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. This movie is full of character actors playing characters. That's what's fun about it, and everyone gets a chance to chew the scenery, and it's right there on the edge of being just a little bit too much. But that's what it makes it fun, I think.
Can we
And
talk
so-
about that for a second? The casting
Sure.
in this movie is really star-studded, at least in my eyes. I mean, you've got, who did I write down here? Arlie Ermey, John Aston, who's the father of Sean
Yes.
Aston, Michael J. Fox, Jake Busey, the son of Gary Busey, and then, of course, you can't forget Jim Fife, the son of the late Deputy Barney Fife from Mayberry, North Carolina.
You're an idiot.
Jim Fife was also in one of the greatest HBO shows of all time, Encyclopedia from 1988. He was one of the main actors, and that's where I remember him from. Do you remember that, Jake? Do you remember Encyclopedia?
Vaguely. I don't know. I remember
It was a-
Encyclopedia Brown.
Yeah, it was an edutainment type thing going on HBO, and they take a different letter every week. And Jim Fife was like, he was like the stud on that show, and so he also had a couple of
characters and shit.
Oh yeah, and then he also did those specials, those awesome specials on toys and whatnot, called "Buy Me That" and "Buy Me That 2" and "Buy Me That 3," where it exposed the way that marketing companies and toy companies just prey on children. It was pretty eye opening, and for the late '80s, it was. You can find it on YouTube. It's I'm a big Jim Fife fan.
Sounds like he was like a Ken Burns for kids.
Yeah, he let
pretty much. You're damn right.
He played Cyrus also.
Oh yeah.
Was that the police chief? Is that who you're talking about?
Shy McBride?
Yeah,
no, he was Cyrus. He was the disco 70s ghost.
Yeah, Danny McBride's stepfather.
Yeah, there you go.
Who played the police chief? That was the one that I kept going back to, because like I said,
he played the fucking coach of the Dolphins in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Roger Podacter.
Yeah, he's just I mean, all these guys are killing it, but there's 2 stars to this movie. Go ahead, Jake.
No, I was saying I think he's also the guy who gets a fist through the mouth in Demon Knight.
Yeah.
I'm watching Demon Knight right now on Stars. It's like playing in the background. I think I just saw him get punched in the face.
Yeah, that's him.
Nice. So, go ahead, Jake.
Oh, never mind. I didn't know where you're gonna.
Oh, I was just gonna say I think Michael J. Fox is really good in this, and I want to talk about him real quick, just because he was a star, and I couldn't help but feel over and over again. Every time I see Tom Holland, all I can think of is Michael J. Fox. Like, his version of Spider-Man is Michael J. Fox to me, and they're so close. But like, you can see the charisma and just how awesome he is at acting. His small little choices, like here and there, he's just such a natural, and he's so fucking watchable and likable. Because the character of Frank Bannister isn't necessarily a good guy in any way, shape, or form, and it's purely the charisma of Michael J. Fox that sells the character. And I don't know if other people played him, because he's an asshole. He really is.
Kinda. I mean, he did lose his wife. So.
Yeah, but that doesn't give him.
That's
not a free pass to be an asshole.
Yeah,
though.
to be.
But he really was a clairvoyant.
Yeah, I know,
yeah.
And that's the thing. Yeah, he did have the powers, but also the idea that he played it down.
And he was scamming people with it.
Yeah.
He was having his ghost buddies go in and haunt people so he could go clean them out and exorcise them from the house. And yeah.
I thought his prices were pretty reasonable, even for '96. I was like, $250. You could at least gotten a G out of people. At least get a stack out of people. But it felt like Michael J. Fox was kind of going towards a lot of like those heelish roles, like Doc Hollywood, he's a dick. Life with Mikey, he's a dick. Greedy, he's a dick. Like, he's like, I'm not the nice guy you think I am, and he just kept trying to like shed that, and he kept trying to shake it, and the shakes didn't stop.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm not the one who called myself Shaky Jakey. I just had to get one in.
But I mean, I just realized I was Shaky Jakey.
He's doing J. McMichael Fox or whatever. I'm doing.
So I think he's really good in this, though, and I don't understand. The one thing that really doesn't work is the love story, but I think that there is chemistry between the 2 actors, and so that's what makes it work. But boy, she just turned tail on her husband Ray like immediately. And
that guy was an asshole.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He lost $16,000 in a bad investment of hers.
I mean, but what a fun asshole! I love that guy. That guy
was a controlling prick. He always made her drink red wine whenever she liked white wine.
But he's so. I'm not saying the character's a
the
dick.
cornerstone of an abusive relationship.
Yeah. The actor though is so fucking good. The way he
that was Biff. He was just doing Biff.
He was Biff.
Thank you. He was pulling a Tom Wilson the whole time.
Which Robert Zemeckis was the executive producer.
Yeah.
So it was very. Did you guys notice the maitre d' from Ghostbusters was also in this, or was I missing that? Okay, remember the guy that was at the hoity-toity place where the big green slime monster was at, and he was like, "I'm not going to pay you that money."
Yeah.
From Ghostbusters. I swear to God, he was at the hoity-toity at the museum. Like, museum. The museum, yeah. When the shit was, I swear to God, it was him, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah,
so, David, what didn't you like about this movie?
How long is this podcast?
As long as you need to be.
I love hearing the other side of this.
Yeah.
I'm totally.
So I think I'm a huge fan of Peter Jackson, and back in those days, I was a huge fan of his, Brain Dead, and then I fell in love with him with Heavenly Creatures, which I think is pure art. It introduces us to what's her face from the Titanic. Oh my God, I think it's her first film, if I'm not mistaken. Fantastic movie, but I found this movie to be really incredibly not funny. I thought the jokes were awful. I thought they were really, really dumb. And then to me, and listen, I think there are some great performances in it. I love Jake Busey. Michael J. Fox is fantastic in it. The mom from E.T. Is really, I love her turn. Yeah, Dee Wallace is great in it. But I felt like it was, and also, when you're dealing with movies like this, you really need, I think it needs to be grounded in some level of explanation. I never really understood how Jake Busey wore the death mask, and I never understood why the Sith, he was able to use that to kill the other ghost. I never understood Michael J. Fox, how he controlled the other ghost to work with him. I never got that. It was just, and those two stories to me never blended together. They felt like two different movies. Michael J. Fox and his two buddies, going around being scanning people, and then the Jake Busey, which I love the Jake Busey serial killer thing. I like that a lot. I do like, and like I said, there's parts of it, but as a whole, I just didn't like it, man. I think really what turns me off is the comedy, and also where the fuck does this take place? Where is this place?
Technically New Zealand.
Yeah. It is such a weird location because you have all these American people living there. There's parts of it that feel like an American type of suburbia, but then it feels like you're in an old English fishing town, right. But then you feel like you're in New Zealand. It is such an odd location.
You must have hated the Lord of the Rings.
I didn't have a reference point for.
I like Lord of the Rings actually. Yeah,
I didn't have a reference point for New Zealand in '96, so I couldn't tell you that I thought it was there. But it's like we've already talked about in earlier casts, is that this was originally supposed to be a Tales from the Crypt episode.
Yeah,
yes, it's the best Tales from the Crypt movie that's ever been made.
I'm surprised it didn't slap Tales from the Crypt Presents.
When you look at it from that perspective, David,
it's a great movie.
Well, not only that, it is a great movie, but like I think for people like Jake and myself especially, this was targeted towards us.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
at the same time, this movie also, a little funny fact, this movie also came out literally, I think, a week or two after the final Tales from the Crypt episode was ever aired. So they
went British. Boo.
This really felt like, to me, like the ultimate conclusion to Tales from the Crypt in a lot of ways. I really had that feeling. So for me, it was like a good send-off. So, I don't know. That's why it's one of the reasons I thought it just really, really nailed it for me.
I agree with that.
And it's cheesy and over the top, and I can understand the humor is dated though. I understand what David's saying, especially because there's a lot of racial humor in it. And then with the judge humping necrophilia a little bit, but he's already dead, so does that count? But I'm just you know what?
That was actually pretty funny. I like.
So did you want the writers to go into writing the Frighteners with the mindset we got to?
I like it when they steal.
16 years from
no, I would want the writers, and the writers were Peter Jackson and his writing partner,
Fran Walsh.
Yeah, Fran Walsh. I would want them to have a sense of humor. That's what I would want as they're writing comedy.
Oh, so you want another giant mommy zombie just sucking people into her stomach?
I would want that kind of
highbrow humor.
I would want them to be funny.
They straight try to do something different. No, Shane Peter Jackson. I want you
It's just like when I go to a comedy club. All I want is a punchline. Give me a good punchline to set up the punchline. And this to me felt like it was almost like bad Three Stooges slapstick going on. It was a lot of that. And
Michael so whenever Special Agent Dammers gets his comeuppance, gets his head blown off, and just the apparition of his ghost head there. You didn't find that funny at all?
Oh no, I listen. That guy, I enjoyed that death a lot, and I found his scene, his stuff good.
His fucking chewed up the entire fucking scenery. Yeah. Every time he was on screen, he commanded your fucking attention.
Yeah, Jeffrey Combs purposely putting a Hitler haircut on, and wearing black things. I think when I talk about the comedy, I think my main what I mean by that is the comedy between Michael J. Fox and his two ghost buddies, and I never got into the whole the cemetery thing either. It was just, to me, it just, again, it's just taste. What you find funny and what you don't find funny. And to me, it just wasn't.
And I think it's fun, and I think it's energetic, and I think it's just for me, but I think my adolescence plays into it too, because I saw this at the right age. Because watching it this time, because watching it this time, I saw the faults in it. I saw, especially like I said, the director's cut. There's definitely pacing issues. There's plot holes galore. What are the fucking rules? You know, like you said before, he has the scythe. Is that what it's called? A scythe, I believe.
Ghost guns.
Yeah,
ghost guns.
And
On
he
top of
ghost
that,
guns.
too.
Yes.
Ghost
What are
guns.
the rules?
On top of that, when they freeze his body and they say he needs to be brought out at 9 o'clock sharp, they're in the graveyard at 8:58, and that is the longest 2 minutes. That was at least 10 minutes of 2 minutes.
Well,
Don't worry
guys,
about that. Don't
most
worry
of that
about
you've
that.
never seen a fucking movie with a
And how
countdown button
close?
before.
How
Have
close
you
is that
seen
graveyard to that
Frighteners
fucking
movie
hospital?
before?
Like,
I'm a big fan of when somebody in a movie says we have 5 minutes to do something. I'm a big fan of
I
whipping
will
out my
time
phone and
them.
go,
Yes.
oh really? By the way, Alien
you
is
two are
off.
just a delight to watch movies with, aren't you?
hey,
Alien is off by 2 minutes on that countdown when the ship's about to blow up. By the way,
You know
Just
who
so you
doesn't do that shit? Who sometimes though is Christopher Nolan.
Ah,
He does that every movie exaggerates those countdown timers and
Yes.
shit. Whenever he puts a fucking timer on there, that's the actual fucking time that this shit takes place in the movie.
as
and
it
then
should.
and Tenet, they just
Yeah.
fucked that up completely because that movie sucked.
They still have the timers right though.
Ah,
I respect that, Christopher Nolan.
except for the car chasing, that's pretty badass. But I'm gonna stick to it. Tenet's a terrible movie. Maybe
It
that's
is.
not-
Okay.
I watched it. I watched it on an airplane, and I was like, I'm so glad I didn't pay for this.
In the movie theater, I turned into Hobby. I was on my phone. Hobby was watching it though. He's like, "Fuck yeah!" He loved it. It was
Horrible
great.
sound.
Granted,
mixing.
I may have been going, what the fuck are they saying? But I had a fun time.
So, all right, back to the movie. It's the ghost stuff. I think the effects are really good, except for the Grim Reaper effect. There's certain times where he's literally menacing and terrifying, especially when he comes and he pulls out the scythe and he goes like that. Like in the sound and the music. We got to talk about the music. David said the Beetlejuice type. Yeah, Danny Elfman brings the fucking.
His music sounds the same in every fucking movie, though. So you can't really. Like, I didn't know
That's
if
so
this was,
true.
he borrowed the soundtrack from Batman Returns and just fucking placed it in the air. Like, you never fucking know.
Same is also true for John Williams. It's not just Danny Elfman.
Shut the fuck up, Bobby.
They all got that. They all got their signature. Like Alan Silvestri.
Cut from the same cloth. But you fucking John Williams into that fucking Danny Elfman ilk. Fucking goddamn blast.
Danny Elfman's that monkey turning that grinder sound. Like, but I love it.
It's
That
good.
Hell yeah.
though.
Who do you want to be today? Who do you want to be? That would have been badass in this movie if they busted out "Who do you want to be today" as like a montage. That
Yeah.
could have really saved it
But instead
for
we
David.
relegated to Team Wolf 2.
Sorry, I'm going on a tangent.
No, you're fine. But that's the thing. We love this movie, so we're just like add some more stuff to it. I'm more curious to Ethan. What was it you said? Just because it's cartoony, it didn't work for you, or what was it? What
I
else
went
didn't
in
work?
expecting. I think I was kind of in a similar vein as Jessup here. I went in expecting to be scared, and it's not the kind of movie I was
no.
expecting.
You
Does
just
Peter
know
Jackson make scary movies?
I know nothing about. Well, I mean, Dead Alive was more intense than scary, but it was a lot more dramatic than. this.
Dead Alive was pretty cartoony too.
There was a fuck ton more gore in that.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
It's still cartoony gore.
Yeah, still
It's
cartoony.
still cartoony as fuck.
Still,
literally, he was running on the
gore
blood
can
like
be
a fucking-
scary, and in that, it was just so disgusting and vile that it was uncomfortable, uneasy, unpleasant feelings that are associated with horror. With this
You didn't get
one,
your priorities straight.
well, fuck you.
Hey, David, I got a question for you. Did you see this movie after you saw Heavenly Creatures?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not saying that definitely influenced you, but I saw Heavenly Creatures too, and you look at Heavenly Creatures from Brain Dead, and you're like, wow, this director has made a turn. And then so like you go from that back to this. If I put myself in your mindset, I could definitely see where you're coming from. I really could. So I don't hate your opinion at all, man. I totally get it.
Because have you guys
hate his opinion?
Have you guys all seen Heavenly Creatures?
No, I've been holding off on that.
I highly recommend it. It's actually it's also based on a true story. Right. But I highly recommend it. It's a really good movie.
It's about a couple of girls who become killers, right?
Yeah, matricide. They commit matricide.
What's matricide?
Whenever you get a tag off the mattress and it says you're going to
Hey, Jake, you saved that shit for Ethan, bro.
Too scary, man. It's too scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that this movie in a way is a spiritual sequel to Brain Dead and Meet the Feebles, which are very similar too. And this movie, I think, in location, music, pacing, stuff like that, and the sense of humor, I think, is close in a lot of ways to those movies, which is a very, I think, you have to have a taste for that, bad taste for that, maybe even. But it's one of those things that I think that you have to kind of enjoy that kind of movie. And for me, it's just, this holds up in a lot of ways because of the third act. And I'm curious to see what you guys think on that. Go ahead, Jake. What are you thinking?
I was going to say, obviously, I don't take this movie seriously.
No.
I know it's a fucking joke. Like, the entire thing is a fucking joke. But there was one scene that, like, just totally sealed the deal for me where I was like, okay, this is, like, totally make-believe. Is whenever she hits Agent Dammers with the fire extinguisher in the corner, and, like, he's trying to catch Michael J. Fox or whatever, and he falls down in the corner, and Michael J. Fox walks up, and he kicks him, and the gun shoots up in the air. It's just like, okay.
Love it. It's one of my favorite. I didn't clip that either.
Just like and then,
there it is.
Done.
And the thing is, Jeffrey Combs, I don't even know if you need his character in this movie. His character do you think it's required for this movie to work?
I don't think. I think I agree with. I agree with David on this as well. I think towards the end of the movie, he's kind of the glue. Like, he's the best part of this whole movie.
Oh,
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, like I would disagree, Duck. I don't think this movie's the same without him at all.
I heard he actually had all those shit carved
into his chest. It's like watching Sonic without Jim Carrey. It's just like worthless.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're dead on right too.
I'm happy about that reach you made, but that was a reach, Hobbs. Like,
it holds water. That movie falls apart without Jim Carrey. This movie falls apart without
Jim Carrey because he's Jim Carrey.
They channeled Jim Carrey. He looks like him also in certain scenes. Like, holy fuck! Like
he reminds me of Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey. Like, but creepy. And I guess Ace Ventura is kind of creepy.
This movie does have a weird mask feel to it.
Yeah.
You know, there's parts of it that feel, and I think that's another problem I have with it is I think tonally it's like got two different tones. Because if you watch the scenes with the mother and the daughter in the house and the stuff with the serial killers, it's really dark. You know, it's really, really dark. But then it has this really wacky side to it, which to me is just such a weird juxtaposition to go
The third act did a really good job of kind of leaning more into that dark tone, especially when she got
flashback at the hospital.
Yeah,
so good.
That was cool.
And also, I love the fact that they referenced real serial killers.
Oh yeah, yes. Starkweather, the Russian guy, fucking.
Didn't they mention
Gacy?
Yeah, Gacy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But that's I think the third act of this movie is the strongest. I think the first and the third, and that's what's so much fun. And we didn't talk about the numbers yet. You know that's the kind of the mystery of the numbers glowing on the head. And why they didn't make that connection, I don't know. But plot holes once again.
That was a plot hole I kind of picked up on. Is they did a good job of mentioning he was keeping track of points for every kill, but they didn't mention conveniently that every victim he carved in the number on their head until it became relevant. And then when people started showing up with numbers on their heads again, his wife being number 13, they just kind of assumed he was picking up the mantle of this killer.
Wasn't she the only one though?
No, they carved into everyone's head.
No. The only one that he carved like after he was dead.
Right.
Yes.
That's the
She was
only
the one,
inconsistency
yeah.
that the
It was,
FBI guys should have
It was
picked up
the
on.
girlfriend, the wife
ET's
that did it.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She who did it. For some reason, she was there at the scene of the crash.
I know that was real convenient.
Oh,
Yeah, she
also-
must have been following her.
Also, they have a tactical shotgun in their house with a fucking flashlight that they can just slap on anytime. You know.
Dude, did you see the way Dee Wallace was running through that fucking insane asylum hospital, with just sliding across the floor shooting? She went from being like super timid to fucking psycho.
She was
Linda
in it.
Hamilton.
Yeah, she fucking she. That's what I mean. I think this movie has some really good performances in it. You know.
I think
whenever
it's-
she's talking to Johnny, and
Yeah.
homegirl's there, and she doesn't realize that she's doing all that shit with her hands, like, yes, I agree. And she goes to the kitchen, she's like, fucking do-gooder, bitch. Yeah, dude.
By the way, was that like the chief Andy McDowell actress they hired?
Yes,
Yes.
totally.
Yeah, they couldn't get it.
They couldn't get
Totally.
Andy McDowell. They're like,
Yeah.
get her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was definitely one of the weakest parts. I thought. Yeah, she was. Yeah, definitely my least favorite in the whole movie was her.
I haven't seen her in anything else other than this movie, so.
Yeah.
And she overacts just like everyone else in this movie. Everyone just gets.
I know he's chewing scenery. I just want
it's
to chew some
awesome.
scenery with the guys.
She's like nibbling at scenery. She's like,
so
I'm here.
Fun though.
I'm here.
it's- all right, yeah, but the chase scene going back and forth, seeing the flashback of like the actual murders, I thought was great. How he's like kind of zoomed out or zoned out into it, and then she's like, "Hey, you know, Frank," and he's seeing it, and then the way he comes back and everything. Michael J. Fox plays everything like it's normal. That's what makes it work. Because even when he's zoned out and he comes back, he doesn't say like, "I just back to the past." You know,
Okay,
back
so
to the
you're
future.
talking about where he's about to actually kill Death with the scythe, and he gets zapped back, and he just wakes up and he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, that show was fucking solid as hell, I thought.
That was
yeah,
cool.
dude. And I thought that was cool too. And that's when I was kind of like, what are the rules? Because I don't know. Because
Yeah,
even with
they
the
just
ghost-
borrowed from Flatliners at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never saw Flat.
And by the way, was it a bad choice to have Michael J. Fox, all of 4'11", build a basketball court as part of a plot line?
No, he was in Teen Wolf. He was an amazing basketball player.
Either that or he realized and that's why he fucking gave up on it also.
Yeah.
Shit, what am I doing, dude? I'm not
Maybe he was just really
Like
inspired
He,
by
he,
Muggsy
he
Bogues.
won the game, David. Come on, get with it.
And by the way, I watched Teen Wolf in the theater.
Did you hate that one too?
Dude, when I saw that in the theater, I thought that was the coolest fucking thing.
It still is.
Yeah.
David, you strike me as very much a Miles.
Still
Were
is.
you, did you
Yes.
were you a big Miles fan?
I was a big Miles fan.
Fuck
Yeah. Yeah, but I remember my brother and we went and saw that in the theater. We dressed up and we wore our Miami Vice jackets to go see that theater.
Pimping.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you notice the guy with his dick out at the very end?
I did not.
Okay. Moving
Ethan's
on.
like, what is that? No, that's it happened. Dude.
Everybody
That's what I was
rushed to
thinking
find
at
the scene.
Yeah.
end. Yeah. Have you ever seen Teen Wolf, Ethan?
No.
That was yeah.
Oh.
You'll hate it.
Yeah. You
That
should
was
watch
the
Frog.
the Michael J. Fox 1-2 punch of Teen Wolf and Back to the Future, right? They came out the
Yeah.
same year.
Oh yeah. I think they were both.
Oh no!
Oh,
That face is
Yay!
priceless.
Jake Busey got him.
Well, yeah. Let's talk about Jake Busey real quick. Let's talk about the teeth. I mean, because he's got them. He is over the top fun. I mean, and he comes across as a serial killer. And this is the movie I know him most from. I think after that would be Starship
Troopers.
which I love too.
Well, why the fuck isn't Jake Busey bigger than? Why didn't he get? I mean, he was so good. He's so good.
He
Yeah, I had
did
no idea.
a little show called Shasta McNasty, I think. Is
Oh.
what put the coffin in him there.
Okay.
Yeah. How about the end?
Cats.
How about the end
Starship
of the movie?
Troopers.
Whenever
Which is a great
that-
movie, but cheesy as fuck.
It's
Love
meant to be
Starship
cheesy
Troopers.
though.
Yeah, it's
so
meant to be
good.
like a 1950s
Yeah.
movie.
It's supposed to be fucking propaganda. Fucking.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta admit,
Paul
Jake-
Verhoeven knew what the fuck he was doing. Okay, don't.
Do you want to know more?
Find out
I
now.
love.
I'm
I
doing
love
my
Starship
part.
Troopers. Yeah.
So good.
So good.
Holds up. All right. So the end of the movie.
That's
They
more
go-
of a horror movie than this.
If it qualifies as, we might need to do a sci-fi month and just get those movies out of the way. But so the end of this movie.
Wait,
he goes
you're
to
not
heaven.
seriously considering Starship Troopers?
Bro, it's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Have you
seen
seen
it?
it?
This is a
Have you seen
horror movie podcast.
Sci-fi month. Sci-fi month.
Sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
We watched
Sci-fi.
Alien.
It
That
is
was sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sci-fi
sci-fi.
month.
It's a genre.
Event Horizon.
Sci-fi horror.
I'll give you a pick.
Heavy action.
All right, Ethan, we won't do it.
Sphere.
No, I don't care if we do it, but They Live is a horror movie because we're doing this shit.
Sci-fi
Just
horror
know.
also.
You don't even have to admit it. You don't have to admit it at all. I know.
Ethan.
They know.
Mr. Krabs is in Starship Troopers.
That's great. But you know what? They Live will be a horror movie.
Michael
In the eyes
Ironside.
of this
You know,
podcast.
you can call it horror when it's still bad.
Michael Ironside was in Starship Troopers and he was in Scanners. Therefore, Starship Troopers is a horror movie.
So
My mind got blown like
There
Scanners.
you go.
You
So
just
good.
became my favorite person on this podcast, Jesse.
All right, let's talk about the end of the movie, and then we'll get the clips.
And see if we
He
can get Jay
dies,
back in here if at all
Goes
possible.
to heaven, dies, goes to heaven, right? And then they think they're going to be able to go back and get more. They're like, "We're going back. We're getting some." And then hell happens. Did
That was
scare
cool.
you? Did that you like that?
I thought that
Very.
was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that too. It freaked me out, made me just bothered me. What are the rules though? How did he get out of hell in the first place? That's the other thing I don't know.
He never went. You have to go through the portal to the great beyond.
Yeah.
He never
You're
went.
saying
He
he
had
was
business
just
on
hanging
Earth.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Oh.
He
Yeah,
wanted to
you have
beat the
either
record.
choose to follow whichever path, like the light will take you up into the heavens, but it'll still also depart you to fucking hell. Also, you just have to.
Do you want to move on or fuck with the living?
Yeah,
Little boy,
so-
you're going to hell.
That's right.
And then at the end, we get to see Dammers in the car, and that's the final joke. He looks pissed, but I mean, every scene with him in it was awesome. So I'll take more Dammers all the way.
Oh, now I have the power also.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're equals.
Yeah.
No sequels. Never will be one. Jay, hopefully he comes back in. Guys, anything else you want to say about the movie, though? I mean, I know we kind of went back and forth, but I absolutely love it, and it's fun, and it's just
I got
Okay,
something
good.
on the ending, unless y'all got something you
Go
want
ahead,
to get
Ethan.
to. Yeah, the ending did not work for me at all. They should have let Michael J. Fox die. That would have
he did.
because
Yeah,
well, stay dead.
Oh,
They should have.
stay dead.
yeah. He
Because
should have stayed up
here's
there
the
with his
thing.
wife.
He should have stayed up there with his wife. But also, how did the lady kill him? She crushed his fucking
Yeah.
throat.
No,
He got
she
shot by an Uzi,
choked him
bro.
out. No, she fucking choked him out. That's it. He just
His
lost
throat is
brain.
Dead.
Yeah.
So he wakes up. He takes a slow breath. His eyes flutter open. How?
there's
That
so many.
fucking tube is-
I know. There's so many rules that so many rules are broken and not explained.
It's a live action cartoon.
On
It's
top of
There you
that,
go.
it just would have made
There
it
you
would have
go.
been way more satisfying if he got his happy ending. He got to go to an afterlife with his wife, who he clearly missed. Didn't go with this lady who, yes, she had a bad marriage, but didn't she lose her husband like just the other day?
Yes.
But
Yeah, but he was a dick, remember?
Yeah, she hated
him. She hated him.
Listen, she
it's
hated
okay.
this.
My dead wife
Yeah.
said, "Live my best
Listen.
life. Let's get together."
You'll someday, hopefully, it never happens.
Oh,
I've been in
by
many
the way,
relationships
did
where I
you
had
find
that.
it really weird when they're talking and then all of a sudden they're at a restaurant? Like there was no like should we
Medieval
go to a
times.
restaurant? Yeah,
We're back.
there was no like going to medieval times.
No,
It
no,
was
no. There
just like-
was.
They
There
just-
was a setup. There was a setup. Ray said that their anniversary was coming up, and he got a reservation at Excalibur, which was their thing. So
Oh
they
my
were saying-
gosh! So they went with his reservation. You're right.
Yes,
See,
they
you know
did.
what happened? You know what happened? That must be the director's cut because I watched it on Amazon Prime, the regular version,
Uh-huh.
and there's no mention of Ray going to Excalibur. They're at the what do you call it? The graveyard, and the next shot they're eating at Excalibur.
He mentions
yeah.
Excalibur
Very weird.
like 3 or 4 scenes before.
Scenes before it.
But
yeah.
I think that was
okay.
probably if you didn't catch that at all in there.
Yeah, it was just very
Yeah.
strange. It's like, oh, I guess they're having dinner now.
I
at a
feel
restaurant.
like I should have prepped Ethan by saying it was a horror comedy instead of being like it's a horror movie. Because
You can't even put horror first, dude. This
It's
is
definitely
comedy with a sprinkling of horror.
It's a comedy ghost cartoon live action movie.
There you go.
I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Horror with a little H.
Horror with a little spook.
I mean, dude, listen. If you look at the hospital scenes, the serial killer scenes, I would say that's definitely horror in there, especially towards the end. And there's some. And that opening scene, even though the CGI doesn't hold up well with the walls coming alive,
it was still cool.
That was still pretty cool. Yeah.
You know which effect would have looked really good if they had the technology for it then? Is the painting scene.
Yeah.
Whenever he's in the fucking painting and then it pops out the opposite side to attack him back.
Yeah.
And that's how he fucking gets him out of the death robe.
That was pretty rough looking, man.
But that would have been so. I see what they were trying to do there.
Yeah,
that would have been so fucking cool.
This movie was part of those movies in the early '90s or the mid '90s where they had the technology, but it just wasn't honed enough yet.
Right.
Yeah. It wasn't at that level the way it is now. And this would be a great. I think it would be wonderful to see what they could do with the technology now.
That's what I was thinking. Is if they have any of the original film or something, you don't even have to go back and recast it and completely remake it. See if you can just go back, touch up the CGI. That would help it a lot.
Give us the Jackson Zemeckis cut.
Yeah,
there you go,
dude. I bet there's some kid on Reddit right now that could probably do that.
Just tweaking and manipulating.
Of
course.
There is unfinished ghost scenes because the judge actually doesn't get killed. He actually was supposed to be in scenes after that in the graveyard. He was supposed to help him defeat the death version, and there are the deleted scenes you can watch online of it.
Rick Baker did the ghost special effects.
Isn't that crazy that it's Gomez Adams though?
Yeah,
playing the fucking judge.
You know what else is crazy is Michael J. Fox kept calling him Doc.
That's right.
Instead of judge, and you can tell like on that one scene, whenever the judge gets fucking cut in half and he yells out "Judge," like you could tell he wanted to fucking yell "Doc!" Like so fucking bad right there.
Yeah.
I remember looking stuff up online. There were some scenes that were almost shot for shot of Back to the Future, like where he's eating a sandwich and talking on the phone.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
where he runs out of the restaurant and he's looking frantically both ways.
Yeah, very bad.
I was waiting for the fucking chase music. Bah, bah, bah.
I mean,
that would be a cool Reddit.
Also in the trivia, they were talking about how he tried to get a PG-13, and no matter what he did to change it, they wouldn't give him a PG-13. So that's why the Dahmer's head explosion is so graphic at the end. Because he's like,
let's make it, it was R.
Yeah, but what in this had it hold that hard R if that head explosion wasn't it?
No, they were like, there was too many gunshots and the doors. And
stuff. Oh, they couldn't handle Ghost Michael J. Fox with his dual fucking LMGs just unloading on death? Okay, sure. Hard R.
Feels like a PG-13 though. It doesn't.
I know. I was surprised when I saw it when I was watching it. I was like, "This is R."
Yeah.
I was really surprised. I don't think if it came out today that they would give it R.
This would be PG by today's standards.
Yeah. It's because it's Scooby Doo, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
All right.
Wacky.
Do we recommend it, guys? I 100% recommend this movie. It's fun. I know the comedy doesn't work for you guys or for David, but it works for me. It's a high energy movie. It's 2 hours, but it doesn't feel like 2 hours. I don't feel it's quick and did it feel like 2 hours? I don't know, man. I'm on the ride.
I can judge that based on am I constantly looking and seeing how long's left in the movie? This is one of those I did that.
Oh, your generation watches YouTube. What do you know?
Dude, I sit and watch like 50, 60-minute YouTube videos, hour and a half. Time does not matter to me. Can it hold my attention for the length of time it's asking me?
Are you actually watching those 50 or 60 minutes? Or are you doing something?
You can't go a whole episode without Will recommending.
Too late. We're not even there yet.
We're not even recommending yet.
We're not even recommending. We're still watching the movie.
What are y'all even doing?
We're just before clips. We're rating it.
We are talking about if we recommend. I said I recommend it. I think it's a great fucking movie. I think it's so much fun. Will, you just popped in. It's good to see you.
Because you can't go a whole episode without Will recommends.
I know, we can't. So that's Will, you Frighteners. What do you have to say about it?
I don't care about that. Listen to this.
No, we're not there yet. You're a fan
clips yet.
You are a fan of the Frighteners.
Oh, you haven't done clips? I don't have time to stay. I just came in to do this.
Okay, do it real quick. Okay, do it real quick.
So, brand new movie on Shudder. This really should be called "What Did Will Watch This Week?" Because Game of Death It's a really good movie on Shudder. It's about a bunch of shitty millennials that you just won't like as characters, but they play a board game which makes them kill people. And if they don't kill people, they get murdered themselves by the board game in the most horrific ways. Like it is a wonderful gore fest with characters you don't like, and it's
nice.
Great. And then number 2, The Night Eats the World. It's not like a crazy intense movie. It's a zombie movie. You ever seen 28 Days Later? Everyone's seen 28 Days Later, right? This is a side quest. Like it feels exactly like 28 Days Later, just in a different apartment. That's it. All right. Fuck off. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Will.
Back to our regularly scheduled
He wasn't
podcast.
joking. He was only jumping in.
That's awesome.
Javi, do you recommend the movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Jakey, do you recommend the movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. David, do you recommend the movie?
I would recommend this movie as a watch Michael J. Fox in his final lead role of a feature film.
Right on. And yeah, he's good. He's damn good. Ethan, do you recommend the movie? Be honest.
I actually do recommend the movie. It is not a horror movie. Don't go in expecting that like I did. Go in expecting a cheesy 90s comedy movie with a little bit of, scary, creepy stuff in there. Ooh, ghosts. But it's mainly a comedy. This is mainly a comedy.
This is mainly a movie that tries to be a comedy.
It tries to be a comedy. Some of the jokes landed for me. Not all of them did. But overall, of the 2 thumbs up I can give, it gets 1.
Right on. All right, guys, let's go to clips. You see him there, Ethan?
Yes, sir. You're good to go.
All right, let's clip it up. Demonic Wall.
It's wrong. She's too young.
She looks like Mom from Futurama.
She does look like Mom from Futurama.
Especially towards the end, she's got those fingerless gloves on and her hair's done up like fucking Mom.
She also kind of looks like Dracula from
Bram Stoker's
Dracula.
Dracula.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman is Dracula.
From Futurama and Magda from There's Something About Mary all combined.
Yeah.
She does look like Magda.
She probably got the fucking titties too.
Yeah.
The wicked will be punished.
If you look at the wallpaper in this place, there's a lot of bubbles and shit in it, and I think it's because they actually tried doing practical effects with things coming out of the wall, but in these long shots, you'll see it, and it just looks like shit, like it's all hanging off the walls, so they do these quick pans, you don't fucking really get to tell, but one of the things I've noticed in the background while watching
Yep.
By the way, how does she not get any pellets in her face from that fucking shotgun blast?
Magic shotgun, bro.
Jesus.
Magic
That's
shotgun.
a buckshot, not birdshot.
Yeah, no, they're fucking slugs.
Woo! Getting scared, the Frighteners. There it is.
Oh my God, Jay's back.
I like this. It's a little character thing, tossing the cards. I thought that was a good little character.
I love the one that sticks on the umbrella.
Yep.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah, sure did.
Was that Jay?
Yes, it was.
Sure
Oh,
was.
yeah,
Was
it's totally sitting on it.
I've been here all the time. What are you talking about?
So this is what I'm saying. This New Zealand thing here, this is the same graveyard that was used in Dead Alive, too. So that's why I say in some ways it's a spiritual
Oh, is it really the
successor.
same one?
Uh-huh.
Damn.
Because it took place in the same movie, in the same country.
The same...
The same.
continuity.
This is just
Might have
Jared
been.
Sapp
Might be in the
Dead
same
Alive.
universe. How cool would that
Yep.
be?
That would be really
badass.
cool.
This wouldn't happen. This news reporter would not say this way. There's no way.
As they threw the switch, he was heard to scream, "I got me a score of 12. Beat that."
Yeah, maybe if they were watching hard copy or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss hard copy, bro.
Oh my God!
Hard copy was the
What a
shit.
flash! Did you love the old VHS the VHS holder that she had? It was that old giant plastic
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
VHS container.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
The bed. Notice the Elvis there? The
I
guy
never noticed
who's
that
the
before.
husband.
You mean the thing in front of the screen?
I
Yeah, the-
never noticed that.
No, the husband played Elvis in Forrest Gump. That's why they put that in there.
No,
Yeah.
he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Oh no, it was Kurt Russell, wasn't it?
I was gonna say Kurt Russell did.
Yeah, Kurt Russell played. Well, no.
Kurt Russell played Elvis in a TV movie directed by John
Kurt
Carpenter.
Russell played Elvis in Forrest Gump.
Kurt Russell played.
All right, I'll break this.
He
tie.
played an Elvis impersonator in Graceland. 3 Days to Graceland.
3,000.
3,000 miles to Graceland.
All right, give me just a second. I'll break this tie.
All right.
No, I didn't say he didn't play him in Forrest Gump. I know he definitely played him in a TV movie directed by John Carpenter. That's all.
Which is a great movie, by the way.
Yeah,
that's a great Elvis movie.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Did the bed levitate?
Yeah.
The bed levitate?
Spontaneous recurrent psychokinesis.
Peter Dobson.
Yep.
That's the husband.
Worst case I've ever seen.
Although I see something here that says Kurt Russell voiced him in Forrest Gump.
That's
Boom.
it.
We were both right.
Everybody wins.
So,
Everybody wins. Nerd of the month. Go.
Yeah, that's right. From the Frighteners, he was physically Elvis.
So I never noticed he was making the puke noises to make him puke until I watched it this time.
What?
Yep.
so
That's a
cheesy.
fun little flubber shot there.
Man, I hate that Trump.
Why?
Yeah.
I just like the effects. That's why a lot of these are just the effect shots.
Yeah.
Like, that's fun.
Yeah, that is.
Kid, help us out.
So, come on, kid, you gonna help us out? Are you with
So that's
us?
Peter Jackson's son.
See? He
Gets it. The kids always get it. Peter Jackson's nanny / mistress also.
Whoa, damn! Yeah, man.
This one made me fucking laugh. This was good.
So, the scene is very infuriating to me because she finds the newspaper after all this shit happens. And she's
And
like,
she still
oh,
doesn't
you're a
believe it."
con man. It's like, who the fuck is doing this?
And you point and tell
Yeah,
me where
like,
the wires are, bitch.
You got all this money, and if you don't believe he's a con man, you got to be investigating his ass for his fucking skills that he's. I don't know.
Plot holes, man.
Yeah, I know, because there was never like it, because she never said, oh, you're a con man who controls ghosts mysteriously from the grave, because she just pulls up the newspaper.
Yeah. So all that was bullshit. I must have been hallucinating because you're a con guy who's been running around the town.
And the ghosts that were sitting down were acting like she scolded them.
Yeah,
You know,
like it's not worth it, man. She
yeah,
knows.
so she knows, man. She knows.
Yeah.
Actually, that part kind of reminded me a lot of Drop Dead Fred.
Yep. Yeah. I can
Oh,
see
the
that.
vibe is Drop Dead Freddish almost. God, that's a fun movie.
I was
Ray-
reminded of Raising Arizona.
Yeah, that too.
I was reminded of the Addams Family values.
Ray is dead.
What is happening to me? Well, Ray, you appear to be dead. Like Torador.
Notice he deteriorates more and more throughout the movie. Also,
Yes, he does, yeah.
That's fucking cool as shit.
Way to the other side.
Because I don't belong on the other side. Jesus Christ, I'm only 29.
The acting between the ghost and like Michael J. Fox is seamless, and you know they weren't on the set at the same time. You know what I mean? So it's just how good he is at this is unbelievable to me. But like, even that right there.
Ray.
He's really
What is-
good at playing it off like it's natural.
Who's
Yeah.
got noise playing in the background? Somebody's playing something. Can you turn it off, please? Thank you. All right, The Frighteners. Just the name of the movie. Arlie McMurray.
What the hell are you doing in my
Harley
graveyard?
Irby.
I said his
You
name
have
wrong.
been told to stay away. Sound off like you've got up here. You cannot bring your spooks in here without my permission. Disappear, scumbag.
Oh, it's my. It's somebody's audio is playing on their screen. Can you turn down your screen?
So the only thing that bothers me about this is they named him Hiles.
Did they?
Well, yeah, his name is Hiles in it, and it should have been Sergeant Hartman from Full Metal Jacket. That would have been so much fucking better if they just.
Like I said, they look for actors to play the part, and they're just like, nah, let's just get him.
Yeah.
But I like how he transforms. It's like seamless between the different versions.
Oh
of him.
yeah.
Yeah, he was in the riot gear, boxer.
Push spirits
Yeah.
around.
It's pretty cool.
Scum! Using spooks to put the frighteners
There's the name of the movie.
That makes me physically ill!
Boom. 38.
So I don't understand. That's also part of the rules, but how is he able to put the number on their head before he actually fucking kills them?
He's projecting the number onto them.
Right, I get that, but
Ghost magic.
He does it from I don't know, whatever. Go on.
Ghost magic.
Ghost magic.
Ghost magic.
There's some magic. There's also a scene before this I didn't clip where the guy is peeing, but it's like the camera angle. You should see his dick, but you don't see his dick, which is probably.
He turns around, he's like, "Good food, huh?"
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not gonna clip that just in case you can see his dick.
That effect
Dammers!
would be really cool if it was just a little bit more realistic. Just
Yeah,
a
they
smidge.
almost nailed it. It was
right there. Like, that mirror almost looks good. The Reaper almost looks good.
They
It's
should have
just-
got fucking James Cameron's Abyss people to do the mirror shit.
Yeah. Ethan, this movie was released before you were born, dude. We didn't have computers back then. Damn
This is all done on an abacus.
Good reference. Hey, Andy McDowell.
It does look
Hey,
like it,
it's not Andy McDowell. Hey, what's up, not Andy McDowell?
I love Dammers so much.
Dude, yeah,
There he
the
is.
way he freaks
You
out
could
about
call
women
him.
knowing-
You could call him almost Bruce Campbell too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to take a break, but I didn't feel good about
No, do you think that's like fucking Jim Carrey's older brother right there?
Well, that Jim Carrey said that he used a lot of the inspiration for his physical acting from Evil Dead 2, so that makes even more sense.
Well, that's
Oh,
that's
wow.
cool.
I didn't know that.
That's cool.
Precisely. Did Bannister leave for the bathroom? Did he use excessive amounts of table salt during his meal?
What?
Answer the question.
For Christ's sakes, it's really late. I can't remember that, okay?
That's definitely some Jim Carrey shit right there.
Did you notice the weird acting tick she has where she looks down a lot?
Yes.
Does she really?
Yeah,
Yes,
she looks down
yes.
when she's acting. She is like not making eye contact with the actors. It's really
Reading
weird.
her lines.
Yeah, yes, probably.
Post-it notes on the floor.
I have a problem with women yelling.
Yeah, we know, bro.
Can I? Sheriff Perry, you are violating my territorial bubble. Bubble.
Just
And
awesome.
also, how are you an American sheriff in a small New Zealand town?
I didn't even know they had sheriffs in small New Zealand towns.
Let alone American ones.
What's the FBI doing overseas? Come on. keep take care of our own shores.
The number 13.
Do you know what was really bizarre? Deborah's corpse had the number 13 carved into its forehead.
Okay, so why didn't they put that together? Like, obviously,
Right.
this is a fucking serial killer. They know that's his trademark. Who's the only surviving person that would have done
Right.
this? Oh, his fucking ex, who's living with her mom because she didn't go to jail because she was a minor.
Right.
What the?
Why didn't they? It's a huge plot hole.
God
Why
damn
didn't
it,
they
Peter
do that?
Jackson.
Because they're from New Zealand with an American sheriff, and it's just not very smart.
Something else I'd like to point out here is if you look just very closely at him, you can't really see his eyes. It looks like
He's
just
wearing
one big
contacts.
pupil.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Especially whenever he's in front of the police car and he thinks that he's turning it on by himself.
Oh, yeah.
You look at his pupils and they're fucking
Gigantic.
huge.
Yeah. It's contacts. He's
It's
wanted
gotta
to do
be,
that for
right?
the character to show.
It's
yeah.
fucking hardcore drugs. They
Oh
just
no, dude.
say it's contacts.
He's on cocaine, acid,
He's a
and
fucking
PCP.
method actor, dude. A meth head actor.
Well, if you read the novel, you would know that he basically.
Ah, the novel. I knew it. The novel's coming to do it.
Unlucky for some.
Unlucky for some.
Look down.
All right. It's gotta
Well,
happen.
if that
We
guy
gotta
was
love it.
fucking trying to make eye contact with me, I'd be looking down also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Judge.
Bannister, stop! Looks like I ain't shooting with blanks no more!
Mighty fine woman. Good teeth.
No, total House 2-5.
For nothing.
That's a good dick joke. Look,
Solid
there he
dick
is.
joke.
There he is. That's a guy from Ghostbusters.
Go back and see.
He's like telling people to get back.
Oh, I missed it.
You got to run it back a little further than you think you do.
My bad.
Right there, that guy.
The blonde guy?
They don't call me the hanging judge for nothing.
The guy right here.
Oh, yeah. It is.
What can you say he does when he's like a blur that's turned?
No, I
You
saw
can't
it before-
identify a man
I
by the
saw it
back of his
before it
head?
Paused.
Look at that potato face.
Right there.
That guy's got
not
quite the
him.
resume.
Not
Maitre
him.
d' in New York,
And this is
museum
this is-
curator in New Zealand. This guy
is
is the most
Jake
interesting
Busey.
man in the world.
That's Jake.
And then you
Busey's
got Lyle
special.
Lovett over here. This is
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
Right there. Good pull, Lyle Lovett.
Is that Lyle Lovett?
A good pull, man.
Where's Julia Roberts?
I like it when they lie still like that.
Creepy.
That's kind of creepy. That's a good rape joke.
Rape. I thought the same thing. I was like, rape. There, that's badass. We just
Yeah, that was
boom
cool.
down.
Yeah. That was pretty badass.
Same scream, same pitch, same length. He was going to scream, Doc.
What are
Did
the
you guys
rules?
know that originally they filmed this whole movie with Eric Stoltz, but it just had the wrong
He just
vibe
wasn't
to it?
bringing it.
Yeah, he went way too. He went way too method. He expected everyone to
Yeah.
call him Frank on set. It was very.
He built a
Okay.
basketball
They went
court.
back and watched the dailies and he even agreed. He was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not a good fit for this. I know it. Though.
I did. What are the rules? What are they? No one knows.
Yeah. So it's like she can't see blood coming from his chin while they're fucking swerving erratically all over the road.
Right?
Right.
Like she's not a like. Oh no! You're trying to kill me, Bannister!
Bannister!
Bannister! You're a
She
murderer!
was just out for him the whole time anyways.
But I like the fact that they keep the mark under his chin for the rest of the movie, where
Yeah.
you can see where the scythe really did the damage. And that's why I wonder if there wasn't more to it, like he stole it from death or something like that. Because once he loses it, he seems to lose a lot of his power.
Yeah, I would have liked to have had more explanation of the death cloak.
Yeah.
You know.
What's the
Yeah.
story? But
How
Yeah.
he became the Reaper, you know.
the Reaper.
And it's really weird though, because like '96 didn't Scream come out this year also?
I mean,
Yes.
if you-
About 4 months later, yeah.
If you
Yeah,
think about
kinda
it,
has the
he's
same
trying
look.
he's trying to be the new Death because his thing was killing more people than anything. And who has more killed under their belt than the actual embodiment of death?
That's
Hillary
a cool
Clinton.
idea.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
They should make a
Sorry,
horror
my
movie series
my
where
uncle came in and whispered that in my ear real quick. Sorry.
No,
Get
I-
back. Go back
I'll
to your
fucking
cue now.
co-sign on that.
they should have an entire movie series that where death is the bad guy and he goes around killing people. That'd be
Oh
awesome.
man, I would love to see that.
Hopefully they make it someday.
The Final Destination.
Oh yeah, Final Destination.
Oh yeah.
Never heard of it.
Dammers, he stole the show.
So
God dammers.
hold up.
What?
There was a
God
clip
dammers.
where God dammers. The news reporter chick who was out after Frank the whole movie.
Oh, the
At that
woman
point,
that talks like
There's a clip in between right after where the car crashes again. She gets absolutely yeeted through the forest by
Yeah,
death.
by death. That was great.
And then she dies and still blames Frank.
Oh yeah, she still blames.
She's
Yeah,
still,
'cause he
you're
is
a
her.
murderer!
He ends up
Murderer!
on top of her. She's so fucking overwhelmed. What's happening?
I just
A
don't get it.
murderer, Bannister.
you killed your wife, Bannister.
I just watched yourself get ripped open by death!
Well, she can't see it though. She doesn't
Yeah.
know what's happening.
Yeah, she
She
thought it
can't
was.
see the apparition. Only
See,
he.
what this movie needs is somebody on the side to answer those questions as the movie's being played.
Let me explain to you what happened here.
Yeah.
What happened
All right.
was...
What Dammers? God dammers, he stole the show.
You're a very dangerous man, Mr. Bannister.
Oh, Frank Bannister is my prisoner. By the power invested in me by the President of the United
Invested
States.
in me. Not vested.
They invested
Out.
power in him.
Out of this room. I have studied the Coroner's reports of every death in Fairwater since 1985. 28 cases involved crushed hearts, arteries choked until they burst. That started in 1990 with your beautiful wife, Deborah. You're trying to kill me, right? No.
Yeah, I think that might have been him actually.
I'm wearing a lead breastplate!
With nipples.
Right.
Lead nipples.
Evil house.
Joel Schumacher made this for me.
I still have a lot to offer.
Yeah,
There
look
you
how
go, like-
deteriorated it is.
Yeah.
Looks like fucking herpes.
Oh, maybe that goes with like how deteriorated his corpse gets over time.
That's
What was that
cool.
even?
Like maybe that's a reflection of how deteriorated his corpse is. You know,
Oh,
like that's
crazy.
bugs starting to eat away at his flesh. or
But then
something.
why don't the other ghosts that help out Bannister look the same way if they're from the 70s?
They do? That one guy, his chin is completely falling off of his ghost.
Yeah, but not the pimp. The pimp was
Yeah,
looking
they have
cool as
like
shit.
Pimp
they
has
have
a
weird
big
marks
nose
coming out of their
too.
eyes and nose and shit. But
They've got
he-
weird features.
He gets worse and worse throughout the movie.
I don't know, maybe
I
it's
have a
just an
theory.
idea.
I have a theory about that, guys. I have a theory that
If
when
you
the
accept
ghosts like do the haunting and everything, I help it revitalize. I think it revitalizes them.
Ooh, that's a
You
good
know,
theory.
but also for the pimp, black don't crack.
That's true.
It's true. It's true.
Love it. And then the fucking skin falling on top.
Slam, here it comes. Boom.
So they had two of
Cool.
these suits. Obviously, one was Stewart's also.
Mm-hmm.
They just
Yeah.
It's like yeah.
We're gonna get to that right now, I believe.
I was honestly expecting that to pay off a little bit later on, like maybe Michael J. Fox sees that dead body on the hood. I was a little disappointed that never came back.
Well, he gets to see the same thing right here, though. Whenever Stewart gets stabbed in the head with it.
Well, yeah.
Ready?
Stewart, where'd he go? I think we got him.
He played the Grim Keeper. I don't know what I call it. but
Grim
it's-
Creeper?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's creeping. Some of that Danny Elfman music right there. Bum, 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 bum. Slam! Once again, what are the rules?
There are no rules.
There are no rules where we're going. Who are you? Who are you?
Who are you?
I like the Necronomicon though. Bam!
That looks solid.
That's his fucking headstone. I just realized that.
Yeah.
What? I didn't
That's
realize
John
that.
Bannister's headstone.
Holy shit.
You mean Johnny Bartlett?
Bartlett.
Bartlett, same thing.
So it's not. It's John
No,
Bannister.
Oh.
Carrying on the good work. Got me a score of 40.
Is that his dad's grave?
That's what I'm wondering. This is some weird foreplay.
Oh yeah, I love when it's like, grab a knife. You killer. I'll watch.
This is so.
You know who'd have been great in that role? What's his face from Scream?
Matthew Lillard.
Yeah. Yep.
Shaggy.
Jamie
Benedict
Skeet-Ulrich.
Scooby-Doo.
Like,
Number
let's
one.
kill another one, Scoob!
Yeah, it really would have been a fucking Scooby-Doo movie, Jesus.
Yep.
Number one.
I guess that makes you.
Alright, pause it for a second.
Yeah.
That dude's
good.
face is way too fucking smooth. Like,
What?
that is just disturbingly perfect skin. He looks like a goddamn alien.
I thought he was gonna say, "Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?"
Yeah, he definitely looks a lot like the Joker from '89.
Yeah.
He's got beautiful eyes.
Beautiful eyes.
His eyebrows
Crazy
are
eyes.
blonde. You know what that means, don't you?
No, this is the carpet
Toe
match.
hairs are also.
The apple's on the fourth floor.
Such an asshole.
You are such an asshole.
He's an asshole.
Oh no, he missed it.
I am an asshole.
That's what he's like. Yes, I am.
Such
It's an Uzi.
Yes, I am. I'm an asshole.
It's a wonderful delivery.
So dumb.
Horrible shot. Only hits him once in his fucking arm. Like fucking 5 feet away from him. He's a trained fucking field marshal, field agent.
Yep. And an asshole. Splat.
Yes,
That would have broken his leg.
Best
Boom!
whole fucking movie.
I want to see it again.
That look of confusion on his
Splat. That's so good.
See you later, Frank. We got you. We're going back down to get us some more.
Yo, Frank!
Bye, Frank.
I hate these creatures.
It's cool.
Alright, they're not real. They can't hurt you.
I know.
Yeah, I got a little hentai vibe from this.
Little hentai.
Really?
When it started going through the eyes and shit, that was where it got kind of
Little blue
Cartoony.
girl going on here.
So it's just Peter Jackson getting back to his roots.
This creature does return in King Kong, though. If you remember, Andy Serkis gets killed by it in the pit in the valley.
so they're connected.
It's a similar creature.
Yeah. Little boy, you're going to hell.
That creature actually reminded me of the dungeon monster from Willow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
No lines. No wait.
All right, one last clip. Dammers looks pissed.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Why is he just riding along with him? Like, wouldn't he just be haunting them? Like, oh, y'all can see me? You fuckers killed me, pretty much.
Yeah, wouldn't he just be like the new killer in the whatever theoretical sequel?
There's never going to be a sequel to this movie.
Could have
No, but what a fun movie. Jay, do you recommend it? We didn't get to hear if you recommend or not.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun watch. I totally agree with anyone who it doesn't think it holds up. It's another classic slice of 90s cinema. So I mean, like all the naysayers, I can definitely see where they're coming from, especially if you're young, like Ethan. Like he's literally younger than this movie, so it's totally understandable that he's like that he would nitpick it just from his perspective. I mean, he grew up in the age of CGI everywhere. I mean, didn't have to work for nothing. So
we didn't have to watch no movies with no practical effects. Everything was done in After Effects.
Yeah, but it's definitely, absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys joining me and talking about this and being here. It's so great. Will already did his Will Recommends. He jumped in there for a minute. So, David, where can they find you on the internet, sir?
Stop Motion Nightmares on Facebook, Children of Dave on Instagram, and next Saturday, the 27th, come out to Fair Park to the Oddities and Curiosities Expo to see my shit live in person.
Oh, cool. What are you doing with that?
It's selling my artwork, let me show you right here.
Hell yeah. Give us a little something. What the fuck?
And then,
dude, is that a lamp?
Yeah, it's a lamp.
That's dope.
And here's another one.
Fuck yeah.
Holy shit.
What
Dude,
are those going for?
Does that plug in?
Yeah, it plugs in. Here, I'll plug it in for you.
And we got a special guest, Dan. Danzy in the house.
Shows
What's
up
Dan?
right as we're done.
Of course.
That's fine. He's here. Is he there or not? Oh, he just wasn't moving. What's
What's
up, Dan?
up, Dan?
Oh, look at that. That's fucking badass.
What's up, my nugget?
Nugget.
Whoa.
You can't be calling him
How's
that.
it going, guys?
Yes, he can.
How's it going?
You don't
Will's
know the
not here?
backstory.
Will's not here?
No,
He popped
Already
in
jumped
for
in.
recommends and left.
Well recommend.
yeah, we're actually at the end. David's showing off
Shit.
some of his oddities and stuff. But no, real quick, Dan, you're a
Were you
fan
hoping
of
to
this.
go to Will about something?
I was here to tell Will he's a piece of shit, and then I was just gonna bounce. That was it. That's all I was gonna do.
Called
No
him
wonder
probably-
Will left so fast.
He'll probably come back and listen to this. So
Now I gotta call him on his phone.
You hack
All
it, son of a
Again?
nugget.
You hacker! You piece of shit. You hacked my system.
I know you hacked me, Will.
Go ahead, y'all watch The Frighteners?
Yes. What do you think? You're a fan,
No.
right?
Whoever was next. I'm sorry to interrupt. Whoever
No,
next.
this
You're
is
next.
the end, so
We're done.
Oh, The Frighteners is one of the best movies ever made.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Dan.
I love that movie so much. It's one of my top 5 horror movies. I mean, I don't even classify it as a horror movie, really.
Okay.
Thank you.
I really don't.
Here we
It's
go.
not scary. And it's the first time on film that you see Michael J. Fox shiver. So there you go.
Yep, that's what we talked about. You're
That's
right.
It was kind of God's foreshadowing to what would happen to Michael J. Fox.
And we already talked about this. He discovered it on the set of Doc Hollywood like 5 years before this. Catch up, Dan. Jesus.
I was making insensitive jokes about his Parkinson's, but
We did that. We already did that an hour and a half ago.
Guess
I
what
said
I'm
he-
doing right now? You know what I'm doing right now, Dan? I'm pulling on low-hanging fruit just for you.
looks like you're rubbing some nuts, David. Looks like you're rubbing some testicles.
Those are some tiny testicles.
Could you do it slower for my imagination, please? All right, that just looks uncomfortable.
Well, Dan, seeing as you jumped in, tell them where they can find you at.
No, I'm not giving you my address.
No.
Your fucking Twitch,
No,
fool.
on the internet.
No, you can catch me on twitch.tv/RedWThePictures, Twitter at Dan Danzy. I'm also the host of the Counting Lights podcast and Asphalt, or co-host on Asphalt. And you can see me March 31st at the Addison Improv with Paul Varghese, Aaron Aaronpour, and Dean Lewis.
We'll see about that.
Oh,
Oh shit, I forgot he was here. I just said some show I wasn't on. Yeah, you can catch me with Mark Norman at the Addison Improv.
Oh, really? That's very
that.
interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, well, it's good seeing everybody. I'm going to get the fuck out of here before I lose another show.
What's
No,
funny
Dan,
is Dan,
that's going to be that's a
Dan
really
was my
good
pick for
Tuesday
that
night
show.
show.
That's a what?
That's a really good Tuesday night show. That's a good lineup.
It's Wednesday, David. It's a Wednesday.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Excuse you.
David, do you have a timetable when you might do comedy again? You think maybe a few months or maybe like fall if
I'm going to
things look
start
better?
doing. I'm going to start doing open mics in April, and so I should be ready to perform in May.
Have you gotten vaccinated yet?
I'm fully vaccinated. Yeah.
Then just come on out.
Anyone else get the shot? I got my first one last
shout
Monday.
out to David for
Wednesday.
shout out to David for hooking us up with that. Him and his wife, they were able to get us some vaccines, so we appreciate that.
He's our COVID vaccine pusher.
Well,
Have y'all just been passing vaccines to each other?
Yeah,
I had to
we've
go to
been
the
sharing.
Texas Motor Speedway.
We've been sharing it. We've been sharing.
You know what's fucked up is if we turn into like a basically a sequel to Mimic, where 5 years from now we all turn into cockroaches, and you're all like, "Fucking Jessup got us the vaccine, and now we're cockroaches."
Well, then all you'll have to do is just step on them. You're fine.
District 9, man.
It's just me and a bunch of insects on the Horrocast.
Because he don't believe in no vaccines.
All of you looking like me. That's what would happen.
All right, guys. So finally, you can find us at wearepodcast.podbean.com. Find all the podcasts there. With that said, let's go ahead and cut the feed. Thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. We will see you next Monday at 8 p.m. for, what is the name of the movie, Hobby? Dead Blue?
Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue.
So we
I'm
go
excited,
watch
man.
Perfect
I'm excited.
comedy
Jay got me pumped up about this.
Now,
such a good
Javi, am I actually going to be scared with this one?
It's a surfing movie.
It's
With a shark.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a
a
shark that
fucking
surfs.
surfing movie on a
Blue
Horrorcast?
Crush or Deep Blue Sea or whatever the fuck it is.
I'm not usually someone who. Have we cut the feed, by the way?
No.
Not yet.
This is still rolling.